Howdy everybody, Steve here, KM9G. Today I've got a special radio for you guys. This thing is on a super deep Black Friday discount, so be sure to check out the link in the description. Let's take a look at the Retevis RT85 over on the workbench. Okay, y'all know I am a big fan of Retevis radios, and I have the Retevis RT95 project that I have been working on. There'll be more coming up on that, because I got a set of cables, and I still have to make the cable. But in the meantime, I've got another Retevis radio to share with you. This is the RT85, which you might think is, 10 less than the RT95, but it's actually a handheld radio. So what do we get? We get a big user's manual with big writing for us blind old farts. Oh, there's the small writing that I was missing out on. It tells you all of the menus. It's a replay of what you would see in the menus in the radio. Detailed function descriptions, okay. Advanced functions, okay. And then this is the warning manual. Luckily this is in multiple languages so that we can all be equally warned in our own native tongue. Antenna. Charging dock, AC powered. 1400 milliamp hour battery. All important lanyard. Radio. Mandatory required screen peel that doesn't peel screen. We have the tab to peel the screen, but we don't have the peel to peel the screen. Belt clip and tiny screws. This is another FM or 136 to 174 or 400 to 480 antenna. And I don't know why they say FM. I mean, I know why they want to say FM. It is SMA male, just in case you were wondering. I mean, it's not SMA female. Because they want you to know that it can work for FM radio reception. But that's like any antenna can work for FM radio reception. I could shove a paperclip in there and it would work for FM radio reception. Ooh, that's loud.
Menu. Escape. Menu. Escape.
All right, well, she's authoritative, if nothing else. Yes, I heard you. Radio version, MCU BQ153. Okay, so it's nice that it talks to you, but it still doesn't talk enough. Like when I click frequency, it doesn't say memory, or channel, or frequency.
Enter.
But it does say enter.
Set. Display mode.
Display mode. So it does say things, but it doesn't say enough things. I wish they would say everything or nothing.
Set. Scrambler.
Scrambler.
Scan. DCS.
Okay, so this is going to scan for DCS.
Scan. CTCSS.
And that will scan for CTCSS. That's awesome.
Band.
Narrow or wide, and it's set to wide.
Auto.
I don't know why that says auto. This is the step when you're going through the VFO knob and tuning in frequencies. It's set to 12.5.
Shift down.
Shift down.
Enter.
That's not shift down, that's shift direction, positive or negative. And it was set to off, so it wasn't telling me that it was negative.
Encode.
This is encoding your CTCSS or DCS.
Decode.
Decode. This is decoding on receive.
Code.
So why is there C, T, and R? So let's see what it says about those tones. Why do we have multiple choices for tones? Okay, so if your codes, it appears to be, if your codes are the same, that you can just use the C CDC, and if you have a different code for receive than you do for transmit, then you can set them up individually also. That seems like wasted memory space, but it's fine. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get.
Voice. Enter.
All right, get rid of her. This is power saving is 4 to 1, which means when you are listening, when the radio is in listen mode, it's actually going to go off 4 times and then be on. And that's supposed to save you some power by not actually powering the receive circuit. So you get some extra battery life, but you might miss the beginning of some of your communications. And if you were doing some type of digital mode through the K connector here, then you might actually miss the beginning of the digital signal that you were being sent. So, if you're trying to do APRS with a radio like this using an external connection, then you'll want to change that setting. DTCH1. Okay, what is DTCH? Automatic number identity. So why did they call that ANI like they do on every other radio? Transmit select. Busy edit. If you have TX select set to edit, it will transmit on the operating band. If you have it set to busy, it will transmit on the band last talking used. Okay, if I'm talking to you on 434.56.250, and then somebody breaks in on 144.0875, then when I PTT, it will PTT on the break-in band, not on the band that I have been talking on all along. So I can see why you would want to have the setting, but I wouldn't want to call it that or describe it that way. Quick walk around the menus and some thoughts therein. Okay, what you guys are all going to be interested in knowing about this is it clean or is it dirty? So let me get out my tiny SA and my 40 dB attenuator, and we're going to find out. All right, let's set this thing up for our harmonics test. I want to measure harmonics of 146.52 megahertz, full span, 1x, display, draw line at minus 16.02, level, external attenuator, minus 40, so we don't blow up our tiny SA when we transmit. Let's see what we get. All right, that looks pretty clean on 2 meters. So now we need to change this over to 70 centimeters. All right, looks like it's starting to settle down a bit. And all of our harmonics are below the pass-fail line, but this pass-fail line doesn't really mean anything for 70 centimeters because there ain't no rules for 70 centimeters. But it's still nice to see what it looks like. One of the quick gotchas that I found on this radio is that it doesn't seem intuitive on how to get into VFO mode or channel mode, and you press the pound key down here at the bottom, and that's the magic sauce that gets it to switch. So you can see that we're on VFO mode at the bottom on 446, and if I press the pound key, it switches over to channel 2 on channel mode, and I can push up and down as necessary to scroll through the channels. So pound key, and then you can scroll that way, or you can just type in a frequency directly, or you can go back into channel mode and change the channels. All right, I have my Shorecom SW102 for power testing. We've got it hooked up to the included antenna that it comes with, so we'll get a true measurement. Let's get her turned on, and then I want to switch it over to 146.520. And we'll put it onto high power. 4.77 watts. I saw 4.8 at the beginning. 1.1 to 1 SWR. So you can see the power reading up here, and then the SWR reading is the big number in the middle, because this is supposed to be an SWR meter. It just shows a whole bunch of other cool stuff instead. All right, this is mid power, 1.77 I saw in the beginning, 1.73, 1.73, 1.02 to 1 SWR. And then this is low power, 0.67 watts, 1.02. 70 centimeters low power is 0.59 with a slightly better SWR, but it's actually really interesting that this antenna has a good SWR, a fairly good SWR comparable on both 2 meters and 70 centimeters. This is mid power on 70 centimeters, 1.5 watts. All right, high power, 3.94. All right, let me get you some detailed specs on this radio. This radio supports 200 channels stored in your memory. It is compatible with Chirp, and they do have their own programming software. Battery's supposed to give you 10 to 12 hours of talk time and 72 hours of standby time. Black Friday this year looks like it is going to be spectacular. It's not Black Friday anymore. Now it's Black Friday and Cyber Monday. No, wait, no. Now it's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Cyber Week. No, now it's 2 weeks. There's going to be an amazing amount of deals coming up, especially from our friends over at Retevis. So be sure you take a look at the links in the description down below for all of those deals. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel because I'm going to do some more deal type things. And I'm also doing a live stream on Black Friday itself where we're going to look for deals together. And I've got a ton of giveaways, an amazing ton of giveaways. Like literally it weighs a ton, the things that I'm giving away. We've got batteries, we've got radios, we've got all kinds of gear that we're going to be giving away. So be sure you are subscribed and look for the live stream on Black Friday itself. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.